Hello and welcome, friends. My name is Lynn, and today I am part of the Oh So Inspired Inspiration Collaboration Hub. This is a monthly collaboration organized by Call Me Crafty Al here on YouTube, and the original piece that we're all inspired by is a wreath design that Lisa created on her birthday card, and I believe she used what looks like might be like a single leafy die, and she cut it out multiple different ways to form a wreath. What I thought I would do is use these florals, which are from My Pretty Things. It's actually on this washi roll of tape here, but it does have a coordinating die so that you can actually die cut these individual elements. And while it wasn't necessarily designed to form a circle, I think I might be able to find enough pieces to get the curve that I need. Now, it didn't look like there were individual pieces that would have that curve sort of to the right that I need, but this piece here does seem to have some leafy portions that I can use. So I'm just going to cut into a portion of that in order to form my wreath. And I'm going to continue to kind of layer these individual elements and continue to cut into other pieces to basically just get what I need in order to create the shape that I want. And I love working with these elements because the washi tape itself is just gorgeous. It has some gold foiling accents to it as well. And I love that there's a coordinating die so that you can cut it out and very easily get a whole stack. Now, what you're looking at here, this pile that I have, is just 2 sets of the design that you get on this washi roll. So if you actually pull out a stretch of this washi tape before it starts to repeat, you get like a set of images. And so what you're looking at here is I just pulled out 2 stretches and die cut it twice so that I would have plenty to work with. And I think I only really needed to die cut it once. I could have gotten all of these pieces just from one set. Now, also from My Pretty Things is this layered friend die set, and it's nice and big. It has 2 shadow die sets or die cuts, but I'm only gonna layer it the one time. And what I'm gonna do, I kind of did a little bit of a dry fit of my wreath here. It might change a little bit in the final orientation, but I have a rough idea of where everything needs to go. And what I'm gonna do is actually lift some of the elements on foam, and that way, as I organize and arrange probably the more leafy parts of this, I can kind of tuck it behind the floral elements, which I think I want as a little bit more of like the focal image. And so lifting these up on a little bit of low profile foam will help it to stand out a little bit and still give me some wiggle room for positioning everything else around it. Otherwise, normally what I tend to want to do is glue down the things that are going to be lower or closer to the card base. I tend to want to glue those down first, but I'm doing the reverse because I think I feel more confident where these floral elements should be, and the more leafy bits, I feel like they might still get nudged around a little bit. So this is that was one of the pieces that had to be trimmed. So I definitely, where I cut it away from the original design, I definitely want to tuck that behind something else so that you don't see that like really abrupt, irregular cut edge. And I'm going to do that a few more times. And actually, after I finished recording, I decided to trim down another piece a little bit as well. So you'll see that happen a lot, and in my final card I even added a couple more little small elements, and that's one of the things I really like about this washi design. Especially there's that larger floral piece that I already started cutting into, because you can definitely find little portions of a larger design and then just snip into it and use the portions that you want to use. And maybe if you snip away a little more carefully, you can still use what's left, which is what my plan is. I'll still use that floral that I've been snipping into and save that for a second card. And so I'll continue to arrange this, and meanwhile, let me tell you a little bit more about this hop. So if you expand the description box below, you'll see a link to Lisa's original card. It's gorgeous. I love what she did on her card. And we've all taken her original card as inspiration this month. And so if you want, you can, in the description box, you'll find a link to a playlist where we've all added our videos. And that gives you one place where, especially if you like to put your YouTube player on autoplay, it makes it super easy, because once one video ends, it'll just go to the next video on the playlist. And I always love being a part of this collaboration because it's so much fun to see how we can all look at the same inspiration piece and each of us kind of be inspired to craft in a different way from that exact same piece. And that's the beauty of crafting and card making. It's just really amazing to see how one card can inspire so many different people to do a variety of different things. And so I always love seeing everybody else's video and checking out, what about Lisa's original card inspired their card, and how did they ultimately make it their own. So I love that. And if you enjoy seeing inspiration as well, I hope you'll hop along and check out everybody else's video and leave everybody a little bit of love on their videos. So as I'm going around, I'm really just trying to make this wreath like a little bit fuller, especially closer to the florals. And then I'll tuck my sentiment in. And I think Lisa's card was really similar. She had her sentiment right in the center of her wreath as well. Her card is actually, I think it's a square card, which I don't often create. So it's really fun to see that. And that makes a lot of sense for a circular wreath. But I decided mine is gonna still be A2 because that's the card size that I make like probably 99% of the time. I don't even do mini slim, slimline all that often. It's either gonna be A2 or 5x7, but most of the time it's A2. And with my sentiment here, I'm gonna tuck a little bit of it behind some of the florals, because the one floral is at the bottom there, it's actually stacked 2 layers of foam thick. And that's one of the reasons why I like using a low profile foam, because you can stack multiple times and still have it be relatively easy to ship. It's not going to trigger any extra postage. And the last thing I'll do, I did edit a little bit. I took out one of the sprigs, and then instead I want to use this beautiful hummingbird. And I often use this a lot to my 3D glue gel. It's just a lot easier to add dimension to a card, especially behind an element that's small and delicate like that hummingbird. It's a little harder to get foam behind there. And so the 3D glue gel, you can just squeeze out wherever you want. And here you can see I moved some of those little buds to the left. I just snipped it all apart and just put those single buds here and there. And I really love how my card turned out at the end. If you're looking for more inspiration, don't forget to expand the description box below and check out that playlist with everybody else's video. Thanks so much for checking out my video today, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye!